Good evening, ladies and gentlemen and fellow aldermen. Today is Wednesday, May 5th, 2021, and this is the final night of the 2021-2022 Board of Aldermen budget deliberations. This meeting is being conducted remotely, and as we begin, I wanted to take the opportunity to highlight a few guidelines to ensure business runs efficiently and that all statutory and administrative rules are followed. In accordance with the Freedom of Information Act and Governor Lamont's executive orders, this meeting is being recorded and will be made available on the City of Milford's website. If a member of the board would like to speak, please utilize the raise your hand feature via Zoom. Please do not speak over one another. And when you are not speaking, please keep your phones and computers on mute. After being recognized to speak, please state your name and address prior to making a statement. With that, will everyone please stand up wherever you are and join me as we pledge allegiance and salute our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Is there a motion to come out of recess?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to come out of recess. Roll call vote, Madam Secretary.
Want to take the roll first?
Correct.
Okay. Alderman Beatty,
Present.
Alderman Gaynor,
Here.
Alderman Tassio,
Here.
Alderman Golden, Alderman Hardiman,
Here.
Alderman Harla,
Here.
Alderman Marlowe,
Here.
Alderman Parente.
Here.
Alderman Frank Smith,
Here.
Alderman Winthrop Smith,
Here.
Alderman Sutton,
Here.
Alderman Tranquilli,
Here.
Alderman Vitro,
Here.
Alderman Vitale.
Here.
Alderman Willis,
Here.
14 present.
14 present. We do
now
have a
I'm gonna-
quorum. Excuse me?
Do you want me to take, now I'll take the vote for coming out of
Yes,
Recess?
yes, please, Madam Secretary.
Alderman Beatty,
Yes.
Alderman Gaynor,
Yes.
Alderman Tassio,
Yes.
Alderman Hardiman,
Yes.
Alderman Harla,
Yes.
Alderman Marlowe,
Yes.
Alderman Parente,
Yes.
Alderman Frank Smith,
Yes.
Alderman Winthrop Smith,
Yes.
Alderman Sutton,
Yes.
Alderman Tranquilli,
Yes.
Alderman Vitro,
Yes.
Alderman Vitale,
Yes.
Alderman Willis.
Yes.
All are in favor.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Motion passes unanimously. I'd just like to make a statement that we do have a quorum. Tonight is the final step in the budget process. I'd like to thank the mayor, the department heads, the finance director and his staff, as well as the Board of Finance, Superintendent Anna Katea and her staff, and the Board of Education. I'd also like to thank the members of the Board of Aldermen who have put in many days and hours considering this budget. Each year, we need to do the hard work to understand all the needs and wants of each department, as well as the 55,000 citizens in Milford. The board needs to find a balance between our citizens, our students and senior citizens, and adopt a budget that's in the best interest for the entire city. Given the impacts of the pandemic, this year is particularly challenging for Milford residents. In spite of these challenges, our board must adopt a prudent and responsible budget which yields the best result for the city. At this point, we will start our deliberations with a motion from the majority leader, Alderman Sutton. Alderman Sutton, you have the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I make a motion to approve the revenues and expenses for the 2021-2022 City of Milford budget as recommended by the Board of Finance with the following technical changes. On page 4, state education grants, account number 433517, education cost sharing, reduced from $9,701,018 to $9,484,907 for a new department subtotal of $9,484,907. Second and lastly, on page 5, state pilot grants, account 433642, state realty, increased from $281,776 to $453,300. Account 433643, state realty Pequot, increased from $225,000 to $236,690. Account 433647, private exemptions, increased from $285,985 to $453,300 for a new department subtotal of $1,247,847.
Come from a mindset that has ability to access the healthcare system. That is not.
Peter, I don't know whether or not the other alderman can hear you as well, but you come in all scrambled. Could you repeat that, please?
Mr. Chairman, are you addressing me, Peter Aradisi?
Yes, I am, Peter.
I respectfully say that I was not speaking at all.
Oh,
That was interference from another party.
oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Did you have something to say, Peter, at all?
Not at this point. Thank you.
Okay. So Alderman Sutton made a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion is made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Madam Secretary, roll call vote, please.
Alderman Beatty,
Yes.
Alderman Gaynor,
Yes.
Alderman Gennatasio.
No.
I'm sorry, did no?
Yes. Yeah, I said no.
Thank you. Alderman Hardeman,
Yes.
Alderman Harlow,
Yes.
Alderman Marlowe,
No.
Is barking.
Alderman Parente,
Yes.
Alderman Frank Smith. Alderman Frank Smith,
Yes.
Alderman Winthrop Smith,
No.
Alderman Sutton,
Yes.
Alderman Tranquilli,
No.
Alderman Vitro,
Yes.
Alderman Vitale,
No.
Alderman Willis.
Yes.
My apologies if I might, I somehow, I was confused. I thought we were voting on what was just amended. My vote is no for the budget. If I might, Mr. Chairman, change my vote.
Thank you, Alderman Gaynor. Did you get that, Madam Secretary?
I did.
You can continue with the roll call vote.
Yeah, I think I got everyone, so. I have 8 in favor, and six no's.
It's 8 in favor and 6 noes. The motion passes as presented. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Madam Secretary, roll call vote, please.
Alderman Beatty?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman,
Alderman Gainer?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
before we adjourn, did we stand in recess as the city finance director calculates total taxes due as well as the mill rate?
absolutely.
So if we could pause for a second, we do need to vote on that final number. And the finance director will have a ordinance for which to read.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, Peter.
Peter Aradisi, Finance Director. I just want to confirm, I was listening. Has the board approved the entire budget for all 4 funds as presented by the Board of Finance with the amendments that
Yes.
Alderman Sutton stated?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Bad news that Joe Biden
What was that bad news? Joe Biden,
I'm interested as well, Ray.
is he coming to Milford? Nobody's answering, huh? I think that came over yours.
I don't know
Ward.
what to do.
That was over Ward's microphone, I think.
That might have been some interference in the background. I don't know on the,
Interference.
yeah, no,
Biden called you?
yeah. Sure he did, yep.
Chairman, I am ready to share my screen with the ordinance for the reading.
Great.
Okay,
You can start anytime.
okay,
Thank you, Peter.
you're welcome. So hopefully you can see the ordinance, and I'll scroll to the top for Alderman Sutton. Thank you.
Alderman Sutton?
He's on mute.
Mhm.
Alderman Sutton, you're on mute.
My apologies.
That's okay.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the board approves an ordinance establishing a budget for the city of Milford for fiscal year 2021, 2022, setting the mill rate and establishing a due date in accordance with the provisions of the Connecticut General Statutes and the Charter of the City of Milford. Whereas the Board of Finance of the City of Milford has made estimates of the income and the amount of money necessary to appropriate for the expenses of the City of Milford for the fiscal year commencing July 1, 2021, and ending June 30, 2022, and has classified such expenses under appropriate headings, departments, and appropriations as more fully appears in the proposed fiscal budget submitted to the Board of Aldermen in accordance with Article 6, Section 2 of the Charter of the City of Milford. And whereas the Board of Aldermen, having met and conducted a public hearing, has considered said proposed fiscal budget and has made changes therein pursuant to Article 6, Section 3 of the Charter of the City of Milford. And whereas the Board of Aldermen, in its deliberation and voting on said budget, has estimated revenues for the 2021-2022 fiscal year in the amount of $221,899,961 and authorized appropriations for the 2021-2022 fiscal year in the amount of $221,899,961. Now, therefore, be it, and it is hereby ordained and enacted by the Board of Aldermen of the City of Milford as follows: that the proposed fiscal budget for the fiscal year commencing July 1, 2021, and ending June 30, 2022, as amended by the action of the Board of Aldermen pursuant to law, is hereby adopted and ordered to be filed with the city clerk. That taxes for fiscal year commencing July 1, 2021, and ending June 30, 2022, at the rate of 27.65 mils upon the rateable estate within the limits of the City of Milford, are hereby laid and levied to meet the expenses of said budget. Said mill rate is set on the predication that it is estimated that $441,198 of said levy will be granted for elderly exemptions, state of Connecticut. $675,723 will be granted for a local tax relief program for the elderly. $387,389 will be granted for a local tax relief program for veterans. And 97.85% of the resulting levy will be collected during the fiscal year commencing July 1, 2021, and ending June 30, 2022. Said taxes shall be paid on the grand list of October 1, 2020, and shall be due and payable on July 1, 2021, provided that if the taxes of any person shall exceed $200, the first installment thereof, but not less than 1/2 of the amount of such taxes, shall be due and payable on the first day of July 2021, and the remainder due and payable on the first day of January 2022. But any taxpayer may pay the total amount of the tax for which he or she is liable at the time when the first installment shall become payable. Such tax rate shall apply to all districts of the City of Milford. Taxes to be raised, $181,768,451. Total appropriation, $221,899,961. Total revenue, $221,899,961. This ordinance shall take effect in accordance with the Charter of the City of Milford.
Thank you, Alderman Sutton. Do I have a second?
Second.
The motion has been made and seconded. Roll call vote, Madam Secretary.
Alderman Beatty,
Mr. Chairman, point of order.
Yes.
I believe there should be discussion before the final vote.
I'm sorry, is there a discussion on the motion? Yes, Alderman Giannatasio.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, good evening to the members of the board. I'd like to also thank everyone for their time and effort that's been put into this budget. We all volunteer our time in different ways, and I just like to express my thanks. I just would also like the members of the board to know why I'm voting no on this budget. I just don't agree with the appropriated fund balance. We're at record levels. We're in the double digits, spending $11 million of taxpayer money of the rainy day fund. I believe that this budget, we should get back to the level that we were at before, which was 9 million prior. We're spending an extra $2 million. I feel that this budget, there's a lot of positions that are being funded that aren't filled, that could be taken out of the budget to make the difference of the $2 million. So I respectfully disagree with this budgeting process. However, I do thank my colleagues and all the time that the people spent in their presentations that came before us. It's important to also mention that we all have worked together in the past, and my intentions are to work closely with all of you moving forward. However, under the circumstances of borrowing this type of money in this amount of $11 million, I just can't go along with that. I don't think that it's being fiscally responsible for the future needs of the city. Thank you.
Any more discussion on the motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Chairman, I would just like to echo what Alderman Giantassio said. Thank you all to all the volunteers. Our city operates so well because we have such terrific volunteers on our boards and our commissions, especially over the course of the last year. This pandemic year has been so difficult, and everybody has adjusted to the changing times and the changing technology. Virtual meetings, it is my great hope that we return to in-person meetings very soon, but everybody has been terrific about making sure that they are attentive and deliberative in these meetings. They have all been respectful. We've now been over a year with not in person, but remote meetings, and I think overall it's been okay. As you see, the city of Milford really has adapted to the changing times. You saw all of our local heroes rise to the challenge. All those city employees that continue to offer the essential services required for our citizens to be healthy, to make sure that we are doing what is safest and soundest and best for all of our families, our teachers, our first responders, our healthcare workers, those in the administration really have gone above and beyond and really kind of demonstrate that we are the small city with a big heart in the way that they've carried themselves and operated over the course of the last year. You know, your board especially. But I do want to say that this year we have a total fund balance of $37 million. That's a huge amount. It's an amount that's approximately 3 times what our local policy is, approximately 3 times the amount that our rating agencies recommend we maintain. The other thing is, you heard that we are going to be receiving some money from the American Rescue Plan. A lot of that money is going to be able to be reclassified back into our fund balance for those losses. That's why, you know, there was, I think, an agreement overall to utilize a little bit more of the fund balance than we traditionally have, and fast forward it so that our residents, our taxpayers, our businesses are not overtaxed. And that's what we were doing. We were making sure that we were not overtaxing our businesses and our residents and all of our taxpayers by utilizing money that we, you know, had previously already taxed them once. So with that, I do want to thank you all for a great job and for all of your help and hard work over the course of this budget season. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to just echo a part of that, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to thank especially the majority leader and the minority leader and each individual alderman for all their patience throughout the year. Having these meetings on Zoom, as you all know, this is not the only meeting that is on Zoom, via Zoom, and it's very difficult to express yourself fully sometimes. But I just want to express my gratitude and thanks to all the aldermen for all their patience and all that they gave the city of Milford this past year. Thanks again. Anyone else have any part of discussion? Seeing none, Madam Secretary, roll call vote, please.
Alderman,
Yes.
Alderman Gainer,
Yes.
Alderman Gennatasio,
No.
Alderman Hardeman,
Yes.
Alderman Harla,
Yes.
Alderman Marlowe,
No.
Alderman Parente,
Yes.
Alderman Frank Smith,
Yes.
Alderman Winthrop Smith,
No.
Alderman Sutton,
Yes.
Alderman Tranquilli, Alderman Tranquilli,
Looks like he's frozen.
Oh,
He's
I'm
still
sorry.
on mute.
Alderman Tranquilli,
You on mute? You on mute?
I'm sorry, I'm having a lot of internet problems. I can't hear anybody.
we're voting on the ordinance.
Did you hear the ordinance?
Did you hear the ordinance, Alderman Tranquilli? Alderman Tranquilli, did you hear the ordinance read?
I don't think he's,
Having a little difficulty.
Okay, do you want me to keep going with the roll?
Yes, Madam Secretary, please.
Okay, Alderman Vitro,
Yes.
Alderman Vitale,
no.
Alderman Willis.
Yes.
excuse me, if I might, Mr. Chairman, once again, I was confused. I thought this was for adjournment, so my vote is no for the ordinance. My apologies again.
Thank you, Alderman Gainer.
Mr. Chairman, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, I can hear.
Did you hear the reading of the ordinance?
Yes, I heard that. Are we voting for it?
Yes.
My vote is no if we're voting for it.
Okay, thank you. Madam Secretary, you can continue, please.
Okay, I have everyone's vote, 8 in favor, 6 against.
Motion passes as presented. Thank you, Madam Secretary. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to adjourn. Any discussion? Hearing none. Roll call vote, Madam Secretary, please.
Alderman Beatty,
Yes.
Alderman Gainer,
Yes.
Alderman Gennatasio,
Yes.
Alderman Hardeman,
Yes.
Alderman Harla,
Yes.
Alderman Marlowe,
Yes.
Alderman Parente,
Yes, and thank you to our secretary for your hard work too during this process.
thank
Here,
you.
here.
Alderman Frank Smith,
Yes.
Alderman Winthrop Smith,
Yes.
Alderman Sutton,
Yes.
Alderman Tranquilli,
Yes.
Alderman Vitro,
Yes.
Alderman Vitale,
Thanks to all and to all a good night. Yes.
and Willis.
Yes.
All are in favor.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much, Madam Secretary, for all the hard work you did. As I echo Alderman Parente's nice thoughts as well. Good night, everyone. Thank you
Good night.
again.
See you at Stonebridge.
Good night.
Okay.